and a liquid. So let's have a look at the attributes of a solid. Hello Year 3 students. This video lesson is all about liquids and solids, excuse me, and the physical change that can occur between a solid and a liquid. So let's have a look at the attributes of a solid object and a liquid object. And for the purpose of this, I'm going to be talking about water. So a solid water is an ice cube, and liquid would be the water that we have maybe in our drink bottles. Okay, now a solid item has a fixed volume. Okay, that means that the size, the volume of it does not change. Liquids also have a fixed volume. Okay, so the volume of that cup of water will not change. However, solids have a fixed shape. So the block of ice will not change shape while it is in a solid state. Liquids will change shape, will change shape depending on their container. And what I mean by that is this. I have a cup of water, and at the moment it's the shape that it's in is in the shape of the cup. I can pour the water into this container and there is still the same volume of water, but the shape of the water is different. So the shape of a liquid will be defined by the shape of the container that it is in. Change the shape again back to the shape of the cup. Okay? Now another thing that we need to consider between solids and liquids is the way that the molecular structure of those items are situated. What I mean is that all things around us, all of these objects around us, a pen, a board, a poster, a TV, us, tables, water, are all made up of atoms or molecules, which is a group of atoms. So everything that has matter in the world is made up of these tiny, tiny, tiny little things that we can't even see, called atoms. And in the case of water, we can talk about the molecules that are in there, and that is a little cluster of different atoms together. Okay, so we have molecules in here, water molecules in here, we have water molecules in here, or H2O, and within a solid, those H2O molecules are tightly packed. Tightly packed molecules. Molecules and atoms are like the building blocks of all things on Earth. Okay, they're like the building blocks. Everything is made up of them. So the molecules, the H2O molecules in a solid are tightly packed together and they don't change their position. Okay, but the molecules in a liquid are still packed together, but they can roll around, slide next to each other. Whoops. Roll around or slide around. So at the moment, the molecules in here are all moving around each other. Okay, they're still together, but they can move around. Okay, so a little bit tricky, but we're going to keep working on understanding this concept of molecules. Okay, now you could probably say that the molecules in a solid are probably cooler, and therefore those molecules are in a stable state. That means they're relaxed and they're not really doing much, they're just hanging out together in that fixed locked together pattern. When they start to warm up, so we add a little bit of heat, energy, those molecules start to get a little bit excited. And that's what causes the melting. So when we add a bit of heat energy, the molecules start to move around. Okay, that's pretty much how we can change from a solid to a liquid, or from a liquid to a solid. We remove the heat so those molecules calm down and go back to their stable state. So a solid doesn't change its shape or size, and it has molecules that are tightly packed together and they are stable and relaxed. Now, when we go over to a liquid and we add a little bit of heat energy and start to melt that solid, those little molecules are getting a little bit excited and they are moving around, they're rolling around each other. Okay, they take on the shape of their container. They don't change their state, they're still water, but they do start to move. So that is the difference between a solid and a liquid. Okay, I know it's hard. We will work on this together. Okay, it's a tricky concept. All right, thanks for watching. See you in class.